Welcome back to the broadcast. You know, millions of Americans are living with mental health issues, but it doesn't just affect the patient, it also impacts the caregivers. A new survey examines this and sheds light on the experience of this very often overlooked group. So here to talk about the survey is actress, singer, and mental health advocate Randye Kaye. Her son Ben, by the way, was diagnosed with schizophrenia 12 years ago. Hi, thanks for being with us.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you.
So how did your son's diagnosis change your life? I can only imagine what an impact hearing those words had on you.
It is a devastating, life-changing moment. Actually, at that point, I had suspected it because I had begun to reach out for resources. But I will say that after years of unexplained behaviors, to get a diagnosis of schizophrenia is both a relief, oh, we have an answer, we have a reason, and devastating. What will his future look like? Will he be in and out of hospitals his whole life? How can we help him to have a productive life? So there's a lot of answers, and then it brings up a lot of questions.
You know, that's interesting, Randye, that you say that because, you know, saying that it was a relief to hear the diagnosis is interesting for some people, but I understand it because then at least you know that there's a way to treat it, medications, things like that. But also it puts you immediately in the situation where you are a caregiver for somebody with an actual diagnosed disease, and that kind of changes things immediately for you, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly does, and it wasn't a surprise. I mean, all parents are caregivers, but of course people are dealing with spouses and siblings and parents with mental illnesses all across the country. Yes, it certainly did bring to light the fact that the caregiving was having to go on a lot longer than we had originally thought, and the burden of that. And I do want to talk about this survey because this is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I want to increase awareness for the caregiver. You know, as you said before, when mental illness, schizophrenia happens, it happens not just to the patient but to the whole family. And so the survey showed that a lot of the feelings we were having of worry and of isolation and of feeling burdened by this, but yet wanting to be hopeful and wanting to be positive, were shared by a lot of other caregivers of people with schizophrenia. Yeah. And it also showed that if you have resources and support, it can lighten that burden. And
so when you saw the results of the survey, did you see a lot of how you were feeling and a lot of what you were going through in that?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was like 97% worry about their loved one, check. You know, feeling isolated and like people don't understand what you're going through, check. Wishing you could have people to talk to about it, check. Well, of course, I took the bull by the horns and wrote a book about it, so I'm open about the situation, but it really helped me feel less alone to know that other people needed support and resources as much as I did, and that with them they were able to feel some of the things I'm now feeling. It takes a while, but you know, pride in being a caregiver, hope for my son's future, content with how things are, so that again it helped me know I wasn't alone, but also that other people need what we need, which is reaching out for resources and getting support.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most important part of this survey, is to make other caregivers feel like you're not alone, and maybe you don't feel guilty for all these natural feelings that you're having of like, gosh, it's such a burden, and you know, because I can imagine the guilt that goes along with that.
Oh, definitely. You know, and that's why I say if you take care of yourself, and including accepting your own feelings, you can take care of others more easily. It's also important for healthcare professionals to see the results of this survey, because by the time they meet the family may feel helpless and overwhelmed, and they may look like the cause of the problem, and they're not if it's an illness. So it is a relief to know, and I want healthcare providers to know that they can recommend to families that they go for resources. A great place is a website called welivewithsz.com, where caregivers can register for resources, get the support they deserve, and it will steer them to places like NAMI and Mental Health America and my book, Ben Behind His Voices, so that by knowing you're not alone, you can also know what you need to do and take care of yourself so you can take better care of your loved one and be a vital part of the treatment team, and spread the word that schizophrenia doesn't come without hope. My son's doing really well, and it's because we were
good.
able, with resources, to be it's because with resources we were able to be more effective caregivers, and also he's awesome. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I was going to
Give him
ask,
some
so
props.
that's so good to hear, and it's good to know for other people who are dealing with similar situations that there's a place that they can go for help. Give us the website one more time, Randye.
Yes, it's We Live with SZ, standing for schizophrenia. We Live with SZ.com.
Okay, and I'm sure people can go there and find warning signs, find you know, help groups, and all sorts of information to make what they're dealing with a whole lot easier.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, my book is Ben Behind His Voices, One Family's Journey from the Chaos of Schizophrenia to Hope. It just tells, it speaks for so many families in one family's story. And it's no picnic, you know, I don't want to sugarcoat anything, but with resources and support, it's an easier road.
Randye, thank you so much for sharing this information with us today. I sure
Thank you.
appreciate it. Okay, when we come back, we are meeting a wonderful winemaker and learning more about what went into the creation of their delicious line that you can actually try for yourself. Don't go anywhere.